I think it is starting to look like a sawmill shed. Okay, I need 116. Now this wall that I'm doing right here, it's not really a structural wall because I have the post, and I have the beam sitting on the post. And I'm just framing it in. I'm trying to cheat a little by making it relatively wide, and then I want to have some shelving going across this way, but rather than making the wall an actual wall, like 16-inch on center, and then putting shelving on the inside, I'm probably going to lose about 8 inches if I do that. I want this right here to be some working area, like maybe my blade sharpener for the mill, maybe the tooth setter, it can sit here, maybe some other tools that I have, can stay out of the weather in there. Okay, looking at what I got left from the stuff that I purchased, I have three 2x6x8s, 1, 2, 3, 4 2x6x12s. And this wall I've been using 12s because it's 11 and a half feet up there. So I got 4 pieces left. 1, 2, I can probably get away with 2 pieces right here. And then I can put some horizontal as shelving. That'll work out nice. I need a place to hang my blades too. So that's great. She's waiting for me to play Kong. Look, she's such a good girl, honestly. She just waits patiently for me to do whatever it is I'm doing. And I mean, I play with her every single day, so it's not like she never gets any playtime. I want to be able to use off these offshoots. I can just make a wall that's that length, Okay, the shortest one here is 42 inches. So let's say I go with 40 inches. That way I don't waste the wood. And let's just do 40 inches. That takes us here. I got these 3 boards. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I have 5 more boards after this. So it's not going to be enough to cover this whole wall. But this is just the boards that I had left. This whole area though is going to stay dry because there's going to be a roof on top of this. This wall is just to close it in and allow me to put some shelving. There you have it. I'm about 3 boards short. But that's okay. I wasn't even planning to use these boards for this project, really. These boards I was saving since last year, believe it or not, to do the battens on my workshop build. But I just decided, you know what? I'm just going to use the wood on this shelter. Get most of it finished rather than me spending the next 3 months preparing the lumber that I would need to cover this. It's actually great on the inside, right? My entrance to my shop is covered. And that's exactly why I put that entrance right there too, eh? At least we have this shelving here now, so this is gonna come in handy for something. It's all built in. It's nice. It's cozy. I built this little workshop last year, and I've been meaning to stain it, and I've just been obviously busy doing other things, but I'm trying to get some stain on it because this area is going to be covered, and I'd rather get the stain on because the post is going to go right here up against the shop, so I don't want behind the post to be unstained and then beside to be stained, you know? The color of this stain is actually called russet, so it's like a russet potato, really. So it's basically brown with a red tinge to it, and I thought it would make the shop, and eventually I'll do the sawmill shelter too. I thought it would look really sharp with this color, and it's something that's easily redone every few years. I think this stain is supposed to last for 8 years, but after 3 or 4 years, if you want to do it again, you just do it again. It's easy as that. There's many different ways you can apply stain. I see some guys spraying it on. I don't really want to do that right now. This is just a tiny little job. So I'm just using a roller, and that's just my personal preference. There's no right or wrong, really. Some people will say, oh, it's easier to do it with the spray, but the problem with the spray is that you got to get it all out. You got to get all the gear out. This is just 20 minutes, rolling this on, so that's the story there. Look at this thing sitting here on the mill. It's like a big, huge stick bug. Come on, buddy. You can't stay there. Come on, bud. You got to come off. I don't want you to get hurt. You go right there. Okay? Trying to slather on a whole bunch of this stain because this is going to be kind of open to the weather. This part here is going to be closed because of the roof, but the roof is only going to overhang about 12 inches. So the idea is that I want to stain this real good so that it really protects the wood, because this is not a pressure treated wood. And of course I don't have any that are 15 feet long, so I'm going to have to go and harvest one. Got all my gear. I picked up this forestry rig, and it's got, like a bunch of hooks, and it's got a suspenders with all your tools and your little adjustment for the chainsaw. It's got a little hook for your tape measure. It's got a little spot for the axe. And I got a first aid kit in here, and these are all, things that obviously are a concern when you're out. You don't want to be walking back and forth to get your stuff as you're going from tree to tree, and B, you got to be safe. Hey, come here. Sit. Ready for the Kong? Bright and early out here in our forest. Beautiful hardwood forest out in the wilderness here in Horseshoe Valley, Ontario, Canada. And I'm trying to pick out or select a tree that I could make this 15-foot beam out of. If you look right there, you can see that one tree that's on an angle. See, it's right there, and it goes up on an angle like that. All the other trees are straight, except for that one tree there. Of course, if I stand directly beside the tree, if you look up, look at it. It's way, 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 way on an angle. So this is not an ideal tree in your forest anyhow. So that's why I think this is a good pick. And it looks like it's big enough for a 10-inch beam. I don't need a 12-inch beam anymore, but this one's big enough. My hand's about 8 inches. That looks like it should be good. Ready? That just kept on going. And of course, I know that some of you viewers are going to be so concerned for Olive here that not going to drop any trees or logs on her. Rest assured, she gets chained up in the mule, and the mule is miles away from the tree. There's no way it can fall on her. Safety first. I don't want any accidents. I got the Steel MS500i out. This is my biggest saw, and I like to do the big trees with this bad boy. That did exactly what I wanted it to. It's getting easier when you work on those leaning trees because it just falls naturally in that direction and you don't have to worry about shims or anything like that. And I'll definitely be able to get one 15-foot beam, and then the tree tapers off over at the end. That is something. I ended up getting 3 pieces out of this sucker. So that's pretty cool. I got the original 15-foot section, and I made it a little bit more than 15, you know, because I want to be able to cut the ends off straight when I'm making my beam. But then I also got a 13-foot piece and a 12-foot piece. So I'm hoping I'll be able to turn these 2 logs into some of the rafters for that carport section. So now I got to get some of the big boy equipment and pull these logs out of here. Really, I only need 1 log today because I want to work on that beam. The other 2 can wait. I just wanted to mention too, when I'm doing the bucking, I'm using an MS 362 steel. And that's because it's a little bit smaller, a little bit lighter. I don't need the big guy to do all the little tiny bucking, because it does get fatiguing out here in the woods. You know what I'm saying? All you loggers out there know that this is hard work. That belt comes in handy actually, you know, the harness for the forestry, because it has all the stuff that you need. So there we go. 10 inches by 5.5. Pretty close, not quite, but pretty close. It's good enough. It's a beautiful maple beam, 15 feet long. there's another beam, 15 footer. It was exactly 15 feet. All worked out pretty good. I put the braces on already, so it's not gonna fall off in the wind, so to speak. And I'll be making my own rafters. I've already started, actually. So these 5 pieces of wood right here are true 2-inch by 8-inch rafters. And I think I need 11.5 feet, so should be good. I don't exactly know how many rafters I'll need there. I'll have to just do a quick 16-ounce center calculation. But I'll get that done in the next episode. I'm probably gonna try to purchase 2 more boards to finish the end of the wall here. And then I want to stain it all. I'm going to stain this beam. I want to stain the beam and this post because I already stained the other post. But this particular post is pressure treated because it's in the ground. But I think I want to stain the beam just because it's possible that that could be exposed to the weather. And I think I might want to stain it just because, you know, the rafters are going to stick out approximately 12 inches. So, I mean, it's possible that rain or snow, if it's coming in on an angle this way, it's going to get wet. Definitely this post could get wet and that post could get wet. So I'm going to get it all stained up pretty soon. It's going to be nice. I've been also working on the frontage of the big main beam. See, I got a few more planks to put on. I just did a little simple framing there to make it like nice. And I'll finish that up. And I think it is starting to look like a sawmill shed.